I just turned 27, and over the past 5 years, I've gone from having $0 to my name to having an investment portfolio worth over 200 grand. And no, this wasn't just dumb luck. There were a few key decisions that I made that got me to this point, and we're going to go into what those were and how you can do the same. So I actually keep track of our income and net worth and update our sheet on the first of every month. And quick side tangent, I'm married, so if I say we or our during this video, just know I'm talking about my wife and myself, but side tangent over. So the exact total amount is $205,978.73 as of March 1st, as that's the last time I updated our finances. And I'm not making this video to brag or anything. I simply just enjoy watching these types of videos from other creators and love getting a deep dive into other people's finances/businesses, as that's super interesting to me. So I thought I'd make the same kind of video myself. Anyways, let's hop right into it. We have 4 different types of accounts we're going to talk about, being high yield savings accounts, stock market investments, retirement accounts, and our real estate properties. So first off is our high yield savings accounts, which we have 2 of, one through SoFi and one through Wealthfront. And each of these serves a different purpose. I mentioned our real estate before, which we'll dive into later. But we have a rental property, so we receive rent every month, and that rent gets deposited into our SoFi high yield savings account, where the mortgage and the HOA then get auto drafted out of, and left behind is our profit every month. And same kind of deal with the Wealthfront account. We have an online business called Bookshelf Blessings, where we sell a Bible study book, and our paychecks every month from the business get deposited into the Wealthfront account. So I basically just use the 2 different accounts to keep things organized. But let's get into how much we have in each account. And I'm not going to lie, we used a good chunk recently to pay off some high interest debt, so both of these accounts are pretty low right now, but we are in the process of letting them grow again. But anyways, in our SoFi account, we have $914.17, and in our Wealthfront account, we have $1,417.25. So nothing crazy like I said, but these will look a lot different by the end of the year. Next up, we have our investments in the stock market, which are held in 2 different accounts as well, a traditional account and a Roth IRA. These are also pretty low right now as we move this money around recently, but just like the high yield savings accounts, we are actively growing these from here on out. So in the traditional account, we have a total of only $605.07, which makes me cringe thinking about, considering I used to have tens of thousands invested. But regardless, we're doing good overall, and I'm extremely grateful for even having anything at all. In the Roth IRA, we have a total of $2,971.43, which never got touched since it's a Roth IRA, but we paused putting money in this for the longest time. But now we're back to investing $400 a month that just gets automatically pulled out of our checking account every month. And these 2 accounts are super simple and boring. All we invest in are ETFs, and the ETFs we own are SPY, which tracks the S&P 500, VTI, which tracks the overall stock market health, and JEPI, or JEPI as I call it, which is a dividend fund. Third thing, myself and my wife have retirement accounts through our current jobs. I have a 401k and she has a 403b, which have a combined total of $99,513.64. This is just from both of us working full-time throughout our 20s so far, and these are managed by our employers, so we don't do anything with them, and I just track their growth month to month. But yeah, not much else to say here, so let's move on. Our final and most exciting investment, in my opinion, is our real estate. We currently own 2 properties, one as our primary home and one as a rental property, and the total value of these 2 properties is about $650,000. We don't own either of these in full just yet, so I just track our equity in each property as it goes up every month from paying the mortgages and from the market just growing over time. And the total equity we own in these 2 properties is $100,557.17. And I get this number from the home's conservative estimated value minus what we still owe, and that leaves us with our real estate equity. So what are these key points that led us to this point? Well, 1, don't be afraid to take chances. I know that sounds corny, but hear me out. I was 23 when I bought my first property, and it took every single last dollar I had saved up until that point. I was incredibly fearful, but knew that I wanted to get in real estate, so I decided screw it and went all in. I bought an absolutely destroyed condo that had druggies in it before me, and with no real plan and hardly any experience, I got in there and completely renovated the entire property by myself while working 2 jobs. The risk was insane, but so worth it looking back, and I'm not special. Literally anyone could do the same thing. I worked 2 jobs to save up $20,000, which all got put into the property via the down payment, closing costs, and materials. And after 6 months and a lot of YouTube tutorials, I was able to move in and start renting out my second bedroom. Now here's where things get real interesting. Because the condo was so destroyed and so cheap, that meant that my mortgage was extremely low, and therefore the rent I received from the one extra bedroom actually ended up covering the mortgage. So for a year and a half, I was able to live basically mortgage free and ended up saving that money instead to then put down on the house my wife and I currently live in. This is what's known as house hacking and was crucial to our financial success so far. There's literally no reason as to why you couldn't do the same thing, and here's why. My full-time job at the time paid me a salary of only $37,000. In my part-time job, I only worked about 1 day a week, so it wasn't much additional income. But if I had to guess, I probably made right at or just under $40,000 total, which these days you can work at McDonald's full-time and probably make $40,000. I had little construction knowledge, a busy schedule with 2 jobs, and a low salary of $37,000 to $40,000, and was still able to make things happen, so I know you can too. Final thing, I wasn't afraid to move money. The reason I said before that I had tens of thousands of dollars invested in the stock market, and now it's only a few grand, is that we decided to use a majority of that investment for 2 things. One was to move it into our current property, so we were able to put down much more and have that much more in equity. And the other thing we used it for was paying down some high interest debt that began to weigh us down more than the money invested was helping us up. Basically, it made more sense to eliminate the debt and restart the investment account and move some of our investment money to real estate equity, as our current house is in an up-and-coming area, so we were able to get much more for what we paid, and I have zero doubt that this property will skyrocket in value in the coming years with how this area is developing. Anyways, guys, that's the video. I appreciate y'all watching, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Jesus loves you. I love you. Peace.